All right, so my name is Vade Krishnan, and this is Build a Teacher. I'm from Lake Forest, Illinois, not the one in California, it's the one up north, just outside of Chicago. So yes, it was a bit of a journey getting here today, but it's all worth it.
And it's less cold here.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, it's freezing over there in Chicago. I just want to know, are you guys teachers at all? Not teachers, okay, this is going to be weird.
I can pretend.
You can pretend to be a teacher. Okay, I was more or less looking for teachers, but we'll see. But essentially, pretend you're a teacher, right? As teachers, they know better than anyone that learning, it doesn't stop like right when the bell rings. Sometimes students are up at studying late at awkward times like 3 a.m., maybe because of extracurriculars or, let's be honest, like procrastination. I mean, there's so many distractions that are prevalent today, like TikTok and all these short form content apps. But anyway, at these late times, they're always wishing, like, what if I could just ask my teacher a couple more questions before the big exam the next day? At least in my state, Illinois, I don't know if this is necessarily true in the state of California, the student-to-teacher ratio for elementary and high school is around 17-1, which is really high, I think, in my opinion. And so this means that many students won't even get the opportunity to ask all the questions they have to their teachers, which could be a lot of questions. Additionally, while this doesn't apply to every teacher, many teachers understandably get frustrated by repetitive questions. So this tool could potentially eliminate this frustration altogether, and this could create more time for meaningful discussions and deeper understanding among students, in my opinion. So let's first get, here's my slides work. Let's first get to how I actually came up with this. So before I actually started working on Build a Teacher, I created something very similar for my AP World History teacher, Mr. Gigiano, last year. I actually had a poster session on this earlier today, since this is a project I'm still actively developing, and it's right now currently being implemented in my school, Lake Forest High School. So this right here, by the way, is the poster. I have the Build a Teacher poster over there. And this is Mr. Gigiano, that's the teacher, and then this is Mr. Aronson, my computer science teacher, who's been like a huge help for developing these both apps. So he's been a very huge advocate. Anyway, when I first pitched this idea to Mr. Gigiano, he actually wasn't freaked out, insulted, or scared. He, in fact, he didn't step in my way in any means. He, in fact, did the opposite. He actually became a very huge advocate for me, probably the biggest advocate for me. And he helped me every step in the way. He gave me feedback on how the AI sounded and responded after class. As I was in the development process. Actually, we had to sacrifice a lot of our lunch break for this because our lunch break was like right after class, so I'd go hungry like the rest of the day, but I knew this would pay off, and it eventually did, because now his AI is excellent and it mimics his teaching style perfectly. And so, like, again, after the session, feel free to scan this QR code here if you'd like to see a short video demo of the Gigiano AI for yourself after the session is over. And both of these posters right here are downstairs. Two copies are in the Commons room if you want to see it there as well. Now, going back to this, the ultimate reason why the AI was so appealing for him is that he had hundreds of recorded lecture videos from the COVID era that were archived, each several hours long, that he would advise students to watch if they were struggling with something. And students didn't really have the time to watch all of them or dig for the exact information they needed. I mean, who really wants to watch like a 2-hour lecture like every single day? Because, you know, you're gonna be confused with something. And majority of the time, like, students know like 70% of the content. It's just the 30% is like gaps, right? And they need to find those gaps. So what is an efficient way to find these gaps? I built an AI system that can access his videos and instantly retrieve specific answers. It's kind of like an administrator from a school put this out very well. It's like you bump into him in the hallway and you ask him a specific question, and this is the kind of response you'll get. But except you can bump into him as many times as you want. You can get as many responses as you want.
And not just in the hallway.
Not anywhere. Yeah, anytime, anywhere. For any computer science people here, there were a lot of hash maps involved in this. If you guys know hash maps, a data structure, you can like quickly retrieve information. So hash maps helped me out a lot. I just want to point that out. There was a lot of hash maps involved. And what really made it fun, and this kind of transfers this over to this, is that the AI actually talked like him with the same tone, the same quirks, the same anecdotes. And students loved that because it felt personal and familiar. I know some of you guys went to the Notebook LM session earlier today. This is where it kind of differs from that because many are trying to compare this Notebook LM, and while foundationally it's very, very similar to Notebook LM, the one thing that's different here is that it actually is cloning the teacher itself and is not introducing a third person, which is like an AI, and is interpreting the teacher's lectures. It is the teacher itself. And so like yeah, students really loved it because it felt personal and familiar. For example, Mr. Gigiano, he's known for his obsession with coffee drinking. This is something that he's very obsessed with. He drinks coffee religiously every day. So when students ask his AI about his coffee, it goes on like a tangent, exactly like he would in real life, talking about how coffee is really good and stuff like that. So it really makes a long study session full of like learning all this material into something a little more fun. But of course, there are strict parameters in place to make sure that Gigiano AI stays on task for the most part, and that of course academic dishonesty does not occur, as a result of a response by the AI. And this is true for Build a Teacher, which we'll talk about right now. So Build a Teacher is something that inspired me over the summer, that it's essentially a platform that lets students build a 24/7 version of their teacher using their lecture videos on YouTube to capture their voice explanations and teaching style. It's literally just a generalized version of Gigiano is Build a Teacher. That's essentially what I'm trying to do. So instead of explaining more about this, I want to show you guys a quick video demo here. And I showed this on my poster here. This is Gigiano, that's my CS teacher. This is me in front of our school. So here's a quick video. It's 3 minutes. It explains a lot more about this.
Does your teacher not have time to answer your questions? Are you studying at 3 a.m. for a test, wishing you could ask your teacher questions? By transcribing your teacher's lectures, you can have a 24/7 version of your teacher. Let's start by creating an account and sign up on the top right and sign up with Google for your convenience. Now let's build a teacher. I am going to use my calculus teacher from freshman year as an example. Out of respect for him, I will choose not to create an avatar depicting him, but it is possible to create avatars in general. Now I will upload some videos of his from his YouTube channel. Let's take a few videos on optimization and related rates, two very challenging calculus topics. You can add additional context if needed, and you can always do this later and modify your teacher as you chat with it. Now I will ask my newly created teacher questions related to the videos. And now you can see that the teacher will respond like the teacher talking in their videos, alongside their methods of explanation and style of speaking. If you go to the dashboard, you are able to see all of the teachers you've made. I've made a few extra teachers so that you can see how you can have a variety of teachers to help you at any time, even at 3 a.m. The Spring Boot entry point launches the whole backend. Every build request routes through here. This controller receives lesson build requests, sanitizes inputs, and hands them off to our orchestration service. Here's where we craft prompts, call Azure OpenAI, and assemble the final lesson kit before persisting anything. Jump to the data layer so Supabase's role is clear. This interface writes the finished video scripts into Supabase Postgres. Each row links back to the originating request so teachers can revisit past builds. Supabase also holds teacher profiles and login data. This repository handles user credentials and metadata so authentication stays centralized. Conversation history and teacher-specific settings live here, giving Supabase a single source for instructor context. For enrichment, we call Rapid API to pull transcripts or facts. This helper merges that data before we store it. The live dashboard is powered through routing and app. Home maps the teacher cards, and teacher cards show avatar, transcript count, chat shortcuts. When I resize, theme accounts for the tokenized spacing and dark mode palette. Now jump into the Teacher Builder UI. Index walks through identity, avatar, transcript, persona steps, while avatar preview renders the live avatar as I tweak skin tone and hair. Finally, for the chat UI, the teacher chat page inside Index drives the threaded assistant conversation and reads Zumba as you're watching a video. and Teacher Detail ties it all back to a single teacher's profile card.
All right, so that's a quick demo of Build a Teacher. Is it okay?
Very quickly, does that, you put YouTube videos in, right?
Yes.
If I take a Drive link that's available to everyone, does that also work? Or is it just YouTube?
I think it has to be YouTube.
Alright.